Well, welcome back to our study on the house of Ahab. Today is something special that we will be looking at the ivory palace of Ahab and Jezebel. We know that Scripture talks about an ivory palace that they have, and let me get into Scripture first, and then we'll read about it very shortly. In the 31st year of Asa, king of Judah, began Omri to reign over Israel 12 years. 6 years reigned he in Tirzah. Now, Omri is the father of Ahab. And we know before Samaria became the capital, it was Tirzah that was that capital. The blue arrow points to it, and you can see how close Samaria is. And he bought the hill Samaria of Shemer for 2 talents of silver, and built on the hill, and called the name of the city which he built, after the name of Shemer, owner of the hill, Samaria. Now the rest of the acts of Ahab and all that he did, and the ivory house or palace which he made, and all the cities that he built, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Israel? So we saw some verses that are up front in our series, but this is way at the end, at the end of book of First Kings. So we're going to be keying in on the ivory house or an ivory palace as we take an archaeological tour of present-day Samaria. This is an air view of it, and probably a drone. And what we look at, you're starting to look at walls, outer walls, some of the inner walls that are dividers of homes. You can see sort of a walkway between that first wall and the upper part, and then a little bit of an area of walking in front of these buildings that are towards us. When you do archaeological digs, it does not move quickly at all. I remember our archaeology teacher telling me, said, when you go in an archaeological dig, do not bring a shovel and a pitchfork. But bring a toothbrush and a whisk broom. And that's how that is. You don't go digging. You go whisking or toothbrushing. Brush things, everything gets brushed with very fine brushes, just to remove the dirt and the dust particles and things like that. Go very, very slowly, because there's treasures underneath those rocks, immense treasures. The buildings can go back. There's like a puzzle you can see within these rocks, and then what they don't have, they'll go ahead and make something similar to it if they're going to go ahead and finish the city and rebuild it exactly. Here you can see some more of the more enduring. The rocks are larger. They tend to look like bricks. They initially are cut to be close to be the same size so that they fit accurately. And you can see down this one as it runs to our upper right, and then makes a turn over towards the left and then on around. This is a part of Ahab's palace. Today, archaeology does not rely on going in and digging first, but it now for a couple of decades has relied upon satellite imagery and close-ups of satellites taking pictures and honing in on these areas. But what's taken place of that now are drones. Drones will have the technology that they'll fly up above the mound. They'll be pre-programmed to hit a certain area, and of course they're aligned with a computer. And what will happen is they will take pictures, and they have the technology that will look down into the ground, and each tier will be a different color. And if there, for instance, is a wall and it goes down like 60 feet, there may be 10 or 11 different tiers, and the wall will be there, but it'll take on different colors for different times that people were there. And so they can put what a city looked like when it was at its completed position and existence, and then they can go from there and they can dig carefully. That's quite amazing technology. Very good magazine to get a hold of is Archaeology Illustrated. They have taken technology as well as dealing with archaeologists, and they have put together what Bible towns would have looked like, and I'll use the word in their heyday, or around the time when they were in their golden ages, golden years. And this is what Samaria would have looked like. You can see the palace, of course, is fortified, and way up on the top, it's a fortress, and there's more than just the palace in there. There are other buildings, but they would be for official, maybe high-end traders and merchants, wealthy people. And then if you'll notice outside of that, there's 3 walls. So if they can build 3 walls, they can defend themselves a whole lot longer than they could with just one. And once again, here's something better that they have dug up. This is the stairs that led up to the palace. And I understand, yes, it's gone, but what you don't understand is it's flat. When you get to the top there, you're flat. You don't fall off over the side. It extends on out there. And that's really only the palace right here, and some of it. To the left was a lot more. You can see it looks like a tunnel going down. It's not. It's just the absence of whatever was there. And here's backing off. Looks like the palace was built in tiers here. And then we talked about the ivory. That was the palace was inlaid with ivory and had ivory everywhere. And you only really get ivory from one place. Elephants is the main. And Samaria was on the trunk route, or the travel route, of people from over in India coming our direction back into the Holy Land, oftentimes heading for Egypt. And then they would stock up on goods that the Egyptians made and head back the other way, trading as they went, dropping off and making money. So these have been found at Samaria. Can you see the lion? He's on the bottom, but he's turned his head completely. You see the mane is on the ground, and his head is like straight, facing straight up. His mouth is open, and he's biting the neck of the boar. And this is all ivory. It was found in the palace. Here's something that's unique. It was found in Samaria, but it's Egyptian. But as I told you, remember, they're on the trade route. People would come in, and who knows that they didn't have a shop of Egyptian goods at Samaria, and they picked this up out of it, and into the palace it went. These are just fragments, and it's an archaeologist's job in their digs and the time and the years that they spend, and they do spend years. Any fragment is important. and someone will find it, dust it off. There'll be a washer along the way that'll wash it off, and it will go into a safe place. And ultimately ends up in the hands of the Israel Antiquities Authority inside one of their buildings. And so they have people that will piece together fragments of things to make a whole. Now, if you look at this one, the one on the far left and the one that's right next to it, you see you have a match right there. All you have to do is slide it and tilt it a little bit, slide it up and tilt it, and you have that. And then I haven't really looked at enough of the other ones to say, well, I think that fits here, it fits there. The other three pieces could belong somewhere else, but probably nearby. And it would involve this. I think one of the nicest ones, and the last one I'll show you, is this one. And why was the culture so set on putting human heads on animals? And it just wasn't this one. The Assyrians, which were in the land during the time of Ahab, they did that in their architecture. I'm trying to grasp at what it is. The Greeks did it. We know that. Babylonians did. So that's sort of fascinating. There's some more piece of that. We'll try to keep you up to date. If anything happens during this study, we'll get that and make a PowerPoint out of it and get it up on YouTube for you to see. I close with the Royal Audience Hall, and once again, Archaeology Illustrated, and these good folks, want to give credit to them. Here's a picture of the Royal Audience Hall. It's all part of the palace system, but this is where they would receive people. People waiting to see the king or queen would wait here, be screened in here, and be set up, and then they would be sent in. Well, I want to thank you for viewing this short presentation. It was not intended to be long, but it was intended to be helpful, resourceful, and let you know that even though we're looking 800-ish BC, we're looking today at history coming alive and them finding what went on in their culture in those years. God bless you. If I can help you in any way, this is where to find me. And I'll see you for our next presentation on YouTube.